Hello everybody, and welcome to this AI rendering tutorial in which I'm going to show you how you can take this Shaper 3D model of a mushroom planter box, prepare it with materials, find a nice look, take a screenshot, and then use a VizcomAI to add all the missing elements like delicious mushrooms, and then use the AI to create a quick product presentation like this one. And with all that said, let's do it. Here in Shaper, as you can see, I have the demo file open. The download link is in the description of this video, and then we can rotate around and take a look at it. It's a fairly simple design. It's basically a box at a shelf with rounded corners, and then we have a box on top for the light and kind of like a box construction at the bottom for the planter. Then we can go to the Viso. You see I have added a bamboo material for the outside. The light emitting surface has an emission material, orange color, and the planter box is terracotta with a dark material there to simulate, for example, the soil. Very good. And we can just rotate around and try to find a nice fitting look like this. Next step, let's go to environment. The environment we want in this case to be transparent. So I have nothing in the background. What's important is the light rotation. The shadow logically shouldn't be in the front, and we want to highlight our object nicely. What we do not want to do is to create confusing drop shadows for the AI. So you see here these elements that stick out, they can be confusing. This, for example, is easy for the AI to read. Another thing I would like to point out is you see how this is a bright gray and this is a dark gray. So the AI will look actually at these edges of the objects and then colorize it. Also here, that has a different color than that. That is very good. In the end, what's really important is that I see kind of like where the LED light is and the edge of the planter surface. So maybe something like this could be good. Also here you see very nice color contrast. Perfect. We could also go to the camera, and this is a very small object. Now we can switch between different field of view. In this case, I found 45 to be pretty good. This allows me to see in the inside and also see a little bit of the outside. Then we just create a snapshot of this and save it to our desktop. Let's go to Viscom. In Viscom, we are going to upload that image. There we are. Now here we have the layer with the image. We could move this around. I have a nice sufficient amount of around the image to create like environment. And then on the right side is how we now configure the AI generation. We are in render mode. Prompt, this is where we write everything. The palette is the model we use to render it, and then we have the drawing influence. First things first. We can now actually write what we see. So for example, a plastic frame with rounded edges with veneer outside, and then an terracotta planting bed at the bottom, integrated LED light strip above or something. Or we can click describe and then see what it tells us. So a modern rectangular brown planter inside a wide rounded shelf with integrated overhead lighting. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Rounded frame, I would say. Inside a white frame with bamboo veneer on the outside, and then we could say integrated overhead lighting. Yeah, there we are. And here I actually changed the order a little bit. So modern rounded frame with bamboo veneer on the outside, integrated overhead lighting, and then rectangular brown planter inside. Yeah, inside. And brown, let's say terracotta. So the more you can explain what you try to do in good English, and the more you can describe it, the more you're helping actually the AI to understand what you want. Good. So let's click generate. The reason why drawing is at 100 is I want this image I have of my screenshot to be followed as closely as possible. And there we are. There's like version 1, version 2. Oh, it's actually hanging. That's quite fun. Version 3, there. And now if I maybe go to Influence 45 and click on Regenerate, I'm giving the AI now a little bit more of an influence to change the design a little bit. Now you see, the design changed quite a lot, for example. It goes in a direction I don't really like. So I will bring this back, and then we can see modern rounded frame, modern rounded frame with white plastic bamboo veneer on the outside. Very good. And do another generate. Because the AI randomizes also to a certain degree, you have to experiment a little bit with the description, so the prompt, and then also kind of like the drawing influence, etc. But you see now by having um, told it it's a white plastic material, I already, yeah, here actually got what I was looking for. So that's actually pretty good. Maybe I say plastic material, whoops, to be more specific. Very good. So I think this prompt is actually pretty good. Now, how do we do the mushrooms? We could say rectangle brown terracotta, plant inside, growing mushrooms. Let's see how that is actually going. Well, we got to leave. Oh, we're gonna leave again. So yeah, the AI doesn't really understand what we want. And this is actually now where and why we're creating a new layer. And that's a cool thing about the AI. We are going to the brush engine. Here's our size, stabilizer, where we can keep this at 2, for example. Hardness is good. We want to change actually the color maybe to something like this. Very good. And then I zoom in here, scroll the mouse wheel, and I make this a tick bigger. And then I simply click at various positions and yeah, place some mushrooms. Then I can make this a little bit smaller and draw the stems down. By the way, you can call this menu also with the right mouse button. And there we are. Middle mouse button pans around. Then we, with the eraser, clean this up a little bit. There we are. Okay. And let's take a look what actually the engine would do with this already. So it's good to have some snacks while doing this. there. Well, interesting mushrooms, but that actually worked out already pretty well. Now, let's actually make another layer, and this layer we put behind. I'm going to change this color a little bit to something more yellowish, and then I will go back to this size there, a little bit smaller, zoom in, and then maybe one there, one there, one there, and there, and there, maybe one here. Right click, make this smaller again, and then as you see, I just draw some stems again. And then we go ahead with the cleanup tool, the eraser, and remove what we don't need. Okay, beautiful. Here now, actually, I will say white mushrooms. And some previous tests, actually, I got green mushrooms without the color. But then when I told it white mushrooms, they turned white. And in a brief moment, maybe two, there we are. Cool. So you see the color actually of the mushrooms didn't necessarily really matter much, but it helped also to understand who's in the front and who's in the back because of the different colors I used. Very nice. Cool. Okay. We zoom in a little bit. We can see here, I didn't really cut this nicely, so we can clearly see there's a little bit of an artifact. So I could go ahead, go to the paint tool, control click and select this paint. And then I kind of like paint over it, go to the eraser, make the eraser smaller, and then very carefully, now here I try to just fix this a little bit better there. Oh, that was actually on the wrong layer, I realized. So you have to be careful what layer you're actually working on. There, very nice. Here I could go ahead, right click on this, make this smaller, and then I'm painting this a little bit further down. So on this layer, I want to paint there. Now it's actually behind. Okay. So be careful with the layers you are working on. And then here a little bit and there. For example, here. We don't have to be super precise, but the more we can help the AI, the better actually it will be. Trust me. Okay, beautiful. Oh, wait. Then schon, as we say in German. Let's fix this one too. We can also create a new layer, and then we put the layer below. We go to the paint bucket this time. I'm using kind of like a gray material. There it is. And let's do a render. In this exercise, I only painted a white background. And you can actually see what's happening to the drop shadow. No? The AI thinks it's part of the object. But with this white background, it thinks that this planter box is actually connected to a wall. So to make this work, now we are going to create a new layer, put this layer above the planter box. Then we go to the brush command, control click, sample the background color, and then we very carefully paint away actually the drop shadow because we don't want it. This, for example, the AI also turned into a feature of the design. I didn't really understand that this was a drop shadow. There, very carefully, beautiful. We also can use the line tool, and then with the line tool, when we have straight edges, very quickly clean those up. There, and there, 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 there. And then also down here, this is here where the stabilizer can come in very handy. I make this a little bit bigger. And then even with a mouse, you can paint nice and smooth curves very easily. Perfect. As we can see, there is a little bit of drop shadow there in the front. So I will hide this for a second so I can better see where I'm painting. Yeah, so there and there. Now we can show the gray background again. Very good. Let's go generate. Yep. That, for example, is actually quite nice. We could use this or that one. We can continue playing with the drawing influence. We can continue also playing with the bamboo. For example, we could say against a gray wall. Again, the more you help the AI, the more you direct it, the better it will be able to create what you're looking for. This, for example, is actually pretty nice. Very good. Then you can click Add, click X, and now on top, we created that AI image. And that's it.